Welcome to beautiful Bonners Ferry, North Idaho, and the Mountain Mafia's very own Purcell Trench Ranch. Scope the recap of event number 1, the Max Tie-Down Tow Test. This is an equalizer event that caters to horsepower and traction. Today we bring you AMSOIL's Hill and Hole, high-flying vehicular violence with the best drivers in the sport. After the Max Tie-Down Tow Test, the current Havoc champion Brent Harrell is in first, followed by Justin Haft, Jim Olson, and Kelly Wurtz in Beef. Welcome to Mountain Havoc 2019, presented by AMSOIL.
I like to go destroy a course without destroying my rig. I know my rig's limits. I know when I'm going to break it. Doesn't mean I won't break it.
Last year's Mountain Havoc, I broke in every event. It was a bad year for us. We're hoping to not repeat that.
Keeping the machine together is a huge aspect of this game. So if we can keep all the bolts tight and keep running right through the courses and make decent times each course, then I think we have a pretty good chance of landing on that podium.
We're balls to the wall in trying to win this without breaking every single part on the buggy.
Mountain Havoc, man, look at it, it's blown up. It used to be, the first year, it was a great idea. Top Truck Challenge was gone, Mountain Havoc's in, but we're seeing these buggies that are way more extreme than you've ever seen before. They're their own class, they're Havoc buggies. That's what we got. These are the best of the best, and they're the meanest vehicles out there.
These courses are designed to push these guys to the limit. The jumps in the Hill and Hole have gotten a lot bigger over the last couple of years, part of that evolution of Havoc-style racing.
I'm Maddie Moon, and I'm here at the AMSOIL Hill and Hole. I'm hanging out next to the X-rated buggy owned by Justin Haft, one of the most aggressive drivers in Havoc-style racing. Nobody holds the throttle down like Justin Haft. We'll see if anyone can change my mind. And now we're gonna kick it back over to Sage for more details on the AMSOIL Hill and Hole course.
I'm Sage L. Sharpner, and we are on the AMSOIL Hill and Hole. To be successful and fast on this course, you gotta have a good line up the bank berms, cut through the mud, and launch the jumps.
After the Max Tie-Down Tow Test, the current Havoc champion Brent Harrell is in first, followed by Justin Haft, Jim Olson, and Kelly Wurtz in Beef.
We have a new improvement to the buggy. We actually installed NOS just a couple days ago. So 250 shots of NOS, both programmed to go in the Hill and Hole and tow test. So that should push it to 1,000 horsepower.
Here we have Kelly Wurtz in Beef. This is by far the biggest rig here at Mountain Havoc, and Kelly is going to need every bit of that 1,000 horsepower to turn those gigantic 65-inch BKT R2 tractor tires. He's an aggressive monster truck style driver, and the Beef buggy is the perfect machine for him. Running order can either help or hurt these drivers, as these tracks tend to continually change throughout the day. The mud will get deeper, and so will the ruts, forcing these drivers to adapt to this course. Great run for Wurtz. He's consistently fast, and if he can keep this beast together, he has a great shot at a podium finish this weekend. Next up is Richie Tremblay from north of the border, Alberta, Canada. Better known as Pork Chop, you may recognize him from the AMSOIL ads in the magazines. This propane-powered Brink Fab chassis is one of the lower and lighter rigs here at Havoc, and very well suited for the Hill and Hole and Havoc Hills events. He will need to play strong in those events to have a real shot at a podium finish, and that's exactly what he does, currently putting him in first place. Brian Foss and the iconic Foss Hog, typically a top contender in this event. Husband and wife team Cheston and Sharbeck aired out the tired old Scout. Larry Dowd lost his steering and a minor fire ended his run. Jay Cooper and Red Rum getting some hill and hole. Mervzer able to finish in his four-wheel steer Power Wagon. Pork Chop currently first, with Kelly Wurtz and Brian Foss close behind. Welcome back to Mountain Havoc 2019, presented by AMSOIL. Check out Big Scope and his truck Gord as he tears this track up, currently putting him in 4th place. Here we have Jason Moon and co-driver Dale Shull in the Moonigan Blazer. Jason and his family own and operate Moonbenders Racing, which specializes in various custom parts for the off-road industry. When he's not working as a fishing boat captain, he's developing his race team that is proving to be a strong force in Havoc-style racing. You can see the track is changing as Jason uses his four-wheel steering to rip around that corner.
We're here with my dad, Jason Moon, and you know, he had a really good run, and then you see a bunch of backfiring. There was flames shooting out of his exhaust. What was going on?
Yeah, it looks like we might have overheated. I'm not really sure. We were that far into the course. We just figured we'd power through to the end, and we'll assess it as the evening goes on here. We'll be ready to roll first thing in the morning.
Great run for Jason as he knocks Foss out of 3rd place. Justin Haft on course now. Widely respected and known as the baddest man in the sport. Justin has more Badass Award wins than anyone else and often does more than his fair share, donating to several events throughout the years to continue to help grow Havoc-style racing. Watch closely as he barely turns the steering wheel in the corners. It's almost all rear steer for Justin in his mega bouncer called X-Rated. Justin is definitely the man to beat on this AMSOIL Hill and Hole track.
I'm here with Justin Haft, and Justin, tell me, you have to have some mud in your teeth because you had to have been smiling that whole time. That run was fast. How do you think it went?
It went well. It's a little muddier than I thought. I do have mud in my teeth. I made a good run, I think. It was fun.
Yeah, your buggy's definitely, it's, you know, no problems or anything, right?
No problems. Everything seems to be good.
Well, that's Justin Haft. I promise you that you will never be let down by watching this guy run his rig.
Justin Haft just launched himself right into 1st place. This is Brent Harrell, last year's 3rd place finisher and son of the current Havoc champion, Brent Harrell. Brent is a conservative and consistent driver. He's trying to stay low and fast, but it looks like he may be playing it a little too safe today. It's risk versus reward out here. You've got to let it all hang out if you want to win here at Havoc. Justin Haft holds the lead by over 12 seconds. It's going to take an amazing performance to catch that dude. Let's go to Maddie Moon and Len Groom with AMSOIL.
I'm Maddie Moon, and I am here with Len Groom. Len, tell us a little bit about what AMSOIL is.
Well, AMSOIL is a synthetic oil company, and we've been around for quite a while, since the early 70s. We do synthetic formulations for basically every form of anything with wheels, anything that has an engine, anything that requires lubrication. So we've got oil for all your needs, and we really, really play well in high-performance racing type things such as Mountain Havoc.
Well, we would like to give you guys a huge thanks, you know, for your part and just your presence here. We really, really appreciate it, and we hope to continue to grow every single year. Hell's
Bells, driven by Matt Thorson with Sal Gumina co-driving. This factory Amsoil team comes out of California and often attends a lot of Ultra 4 races, as well as King of the Hammers. This is their first time at Havoc, and it's about time because we've all been good buddies for over a decade. One of the coolest things about this crew is how fun they are to hang with, and that barbecue is always incredible. A nice, consistent, and fast run for Matt and Sal.
I am here with the one and only Matt Thorson. Matt drives one of my very favorite cars, the Hell's Bells car. Not that you can really tell right now as it's covered in mud. Matt, how do you feel about that run?
That was awesome. Could have used a little more traction, but I do like the air. It's cool.
I think we should have went faster.
More action when we come back.
My name's Richard Yeamans, and behind me is my 2019 BD Fab buggy. I just finished it 3 days ago, so I mean, it's all brand new, it's all fresh. The buggy will be competitive in areas where speed counts. I think I'm gonna do really well on the hill and hole. I'm gonna be able to get into places where a lot of these guys just won't fit. That's gonna be an advantage.
And here he is now, Richard Yeamans. Being the smallest and lightest rig here at Havoc, he had a very hard time in the max tie-down toe test. But he is looking to make up some ground on this Amsoil Hill and Hole course. We know he is a driver because we watched him earn his spot into Havoc at our Wake the Squatch Spring Qualifier. Richard owns and operates BD Fab in Medford, Oregon, which specializes in suspension, roll cages, chassis, and drivetrains. They do everything from rock sliders to complete turnkey race cars, and Richard handles the product testing by racing these Havoc events with the Mountain Mafia.
I'm here with Richard Yeamans, and Richard, how do you feel about this run?
I feel really good for a new buggy. It felt fast, felt smooth, and it was a good ride. So.
I see that you finally took a step away from the DOT-approved tires and got something with a little more tread on them. How you liking them?
So far, the Mickey Thompsons, the Baja Pro X is hooking up really good. So.
You know, you're one of the smallest rigs. How does it feel to be out here around all of these really big rigs?
It's intimidating to say the least, but we're going to give them hell regardless. So we come to win. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and good luck the rest of your runs.
That was the performance we discussed earlier. Richard Yeamans is the man. He just tossed Justin Haft out of first place by over a second. It's Jason Gray's turn in his new buggy he calls the Mistress. Jason and Kim built this rig themselves. Both are past TTC competitors and no strangers to Havoc-style racing. Jason earned his Havoc spot a little over a month ago at our Wake the Squatch Spring Qualifier. Jason is experimenting with some new lines as this track has certainly changed throughout this event. He takes that outside line and attempts to avoid the mud. Quick run for Gray. Let's go down to Matty Moon and hear what he has to say.
I'm here with Jason Gray and his new buggy, actually. He's got some new parts on it. Jason, how'd that run go?
It felt pretty good. I had some backfiring going on, I'm not sure. And I probably should have shifted into second because I was really wrapping it out. But I just started hitting the corners hard. I was trying to make up time.
Yeah, how do those new ORIs feel underneath you?
Smooth. I couldn't tell if I came up short on a jump or long. It just felt smooth.
Really happy to see it running good for you. You're going to give it hell.
Leroy Latham and Ben Sharpner on course in the monster buggy. Leroy built this rear-engine Ford-powered rig back in 2009 and has more wins than anyone else in the sport. I remember showing him my first set of axle techs many years ago in my shop. Shortly after that, he swapped a set into his rig, which helped fuel the axle tech craze. Now these bomb-proof planetary axles are standard equipment on many of these Havoc rigs. Leroy also handles high desert top truck in his hometown of Winnemucca, Nevada, which is one of our biggest qualifiers for this Mountain Havoc event. Fast and consistent as usual. Let's hear what he has to say with Sage.
Leroy, you are a veteran of this course. All in all, what do you think of the hill and hole today?
No, they did a really good job. They stepped it up, and yeah, the jumps are bigger, the landings are better. It was a lot of fun. We jumped pretty, it felt really high on that second jump, the first lap around. It's like, okay, we got to cut her back on that one a little bit, but, you know, railing the corners harder than I normally do, I think. It just worked out. We had a lot of fun. We just went out for a quick drive, and they made us stop.
Is there anything you need to do to get ready for the next course?
No, not really. I don't even think I'll wash it.
Leroy puts himself in third place, right behind Justin Haft and Richard Yemens. Welcome back to Mountain Havoc 2019, presented by AMSOIL. We are having a great day of racing with only a few drivers left to go on this AMSOIL Hill and Hole course. And this is Chris Kaufman and a new-to-him rock bouncer called Showstopper. Last year he was in a Toyota Truggy, but this year Team Diesel and Off-Road Authority picked up this bouncer from all the way across the country. It's low, light, and powerful, and Chris has been making some serious claims. He's living up to his words so far. This is a fast run.
Chris, brand new rig. You've run one competitive course, and now you're right out here on the hill and hole. How are you feeling right now?
We're feeling good. The buggy's working really great. It is new to us. We don't have a whole lot of seat time, and it feels good. It feels strong. We just got to get used to it, and I think as the weekend progresses, times will get faster.
What would you say your advantage with this rig is compared to your old rig going into the next couple courses?
The horsepower on this rig is going to give us a much better lead in the field compared to what the old Punisher used to be. Much more nimble, and when it comes to the hill climb, that's where this buggy is really going to shine. It was made to point and shoot, and that's what we're going to do with it. If we can pull out what I want to pull out with the buggy, I think we'll end up on top tomorrow.
Mont Pass and Green Willie trying not to high side. This is Neil and Allie from Western Canadian Rockwell in the Boosted Moose. Trevor Davis and his dad Jeff obviously enjoying this course, as you can tell from that in-cab camera angle. Jim and Kevin were killing this AMSOIL Hill and Hole until they broke a front drive shaft, damaging the oil pan and transmission, causing this fire. Gray pulls him back to Racer Row for repairs. And Kaufman is able to knock Leroy out of third place. We only have one driver left, but it happens to be the current Havoc champion, Brent Harrell, in his personal rig called Change Order. Brett is currently in first place by winning event number 1, the Max Tie-Down Toe Test. Last year, Brett finished second in this AMSOIL Hill and Hole event on his way to becoming Havoc champion. He looks fast, but some of these times are very close to each other.
Now, Brett, it looks like you drove a smart race on the Hill and Hole.
Well, you got to do that. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. We were timing ourselves. I think I'm around a 207. We did get boogered up on one corner, but where our buggies shine is in the rocks and in the mountain, man.
So we have hill climb, rock course tomorrow. How are you feeling about those two events?
I think they're going to be great. This is going to separate the real drivers to the guys that think they should be here. You know what I mean? We've got great drivers like Leroy, Cheston. These guys are veterans. They're going to be doing what we're doing, you know what I mean? And a lot of these new guys, I think it's going to freak them out a little bit.
Good enough for fourth place between Kaufman and Latham. And Richard Yemens takes the win. Scope this recap. Pork chop Wurtz in half, threw down hard, but Yemens steals the show. overall leaderboard after 2 events. Half leads, followed by Harrell and Latham. Tune in next time for the Mountain Mafia's very own Havoc Hills. Steep inclines and fast corners are sure to separate this field of drivers. On behalf of the Mountain Mafia family, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Find Mountain Mafia Entertainment online.